Hello guys, I am back from another video and today we're talking about Deku was the Prince of Wrath. So in the last video Deku, after making their way to Island, they were, met by Mr. David Shield. So they were, given a tour, and for Izuku, Izuku was told by, David Shield about, All Might's, injury. After deciding to make a pact with a demon soon, well, Izuku was given a tour with the rest of his classmates by the daughter of David Shield, being Melissa Shield. So, after the tour was over, Melissa asked for Izuku to try and give her, some sort of, quirk, or at least something that's similar to a quirk. Izuku refused, but because of that, became, angry. So, yeah. And next, Izuku was attacked by one of the seven Archangels, being Uriel, aka God's Flame. So, after Izuku defeats her, but not really technically defeated her, actually, All Might defeated her by just yeeting her and bringing her to well, a deserted island, basically. So, after that, well, Izuku decided to go to a restaurant where the rest of his classmates are there basically eating. So, yeah, after they eaten, they decide to leave and go to their, hotel rooms and go to sleep. So, yeah. So, let's talk about what happens next. So, Izuku woke up as Izuku starts taking off all of his clothes and goes to the shower to basically, take a bath. So, after Izuku does that, he was, there was a text message in his cell phone saying that, his, well, basically his, pet sitter was currently, dumbfounded by, how much, Izuku's pets, basically the manticores that Izuku got in the last video, are basically just eating her a house at home. I mean, house and home. Basically, the manticores eat a lot. Ash, the text message basically says this: Can you at least? Why are they just eating a lot? They're basically like vacuums or something. Izuku says this: just basically feed them this. As Izuku basically told his pet sitter to basically feed the manticores a whole freaking cow, like literally just a whole cow, like a raw full, like a literal like full cow, basically like all of it, like the organs are still there, basically. As she says this, where can I just get a cow? Izuku says this. All right. Yeah, Izuku just texted her, basically giving her like money in her bank account, basically, and telling her to basically buy, a whole cow with that money that Izuku sent her in her bank account. She says this. Okay. So, after doing that, Izuku starts getting out of the bathroom as Izuku sees Bakugo. Izuku was still, still fully naked, but not really naked, more like he has, still wearing a towel. As, well, Bakugo starts blushing. As Izuku says this, is there a problem? Because, Izuku, most of the time, let's just say Izuku, when he's mostly at home, he's basically, not fully naked, he's just wearing his underwear. And he always like trains in his underwear, but every time when he's going outside, like for say like going to a party or going meeting or going with friends in hell, he's basically wearing formal wear. I meant formal wear. I meant as when she saw Izuku wearing that, she starts like blushing as Izuku says this. Oh, sorry about that. As she basically just slaps Izuku around the face. As Bakugo said this, You, why are you naked? Please, just what? Uh, as Izuku says this. Ah, fine. I was just getting my clothes over there. As she says this. Oh, okay. She starts like looking at Izuku weirdly, but not really looking, more like she's like angrily looking at herself saying, I can't believe I just saw Izuku like fully naked. Not like fully naked. Izuku's still wearing like a towel under the belt, basically. Izuku basically after getting his clothes, Izuku after changing, Izuku is well ready to go and basically go around Island for now. So, the rest of his classmates are basically getting ready for the party tonight. So, everybody was they're basically excited. Everybody started celebrating, saying that they can't wait for for the party. Some that are basically like dreading for the party. As in dreading, I mean like afraid because their suit probably won't like be cute enough, or like their like dress won't be like beautiful enough. Like for example, Choco, which is like the her dress is not really up to code. It basically looks like just imagine one of those cheap looking dresses that you would see in like or like those bootleg ones that you would see in like Lazada or something, basically. So after well after a while, it's finally time for the party at Island. Everybody was excited, including Izuku, which he's wearing his brand new suit. As Bako said this, "Hey guys, what do you think of my brand new dress?" As everybody sees Bakugo's dress, it's basically like red with golden accents. It also has a bit of black. As she says this, "So what do you think?" As Izuku says this, "Well, you actually look beautiful." As she starts like blushing as she says this, whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, let's party till let's party till we die. As everybody starts literally starts like dancing instantly. They started like partying, like I meant I meant partying till their stomachs hurt or something. So for Choco, I meant, oh, Choco. God, why am I? It's just my lisp. It's just a little bit. It's just my accent, basically. So, Choco starts basically starts chugging all of the food instantly, mostly the sweet ones. Everybody was started to Everybody starts like looking at Choco instantly. So, the well, the main course of the night is basically like a gigantic like turkey or something. Everybody starts eating after they danced a lot. As Izuku starts eating a salad and some like other miscellaneous foods. As Bako starts going outside. As Izuku starts following her. Well, Izuku sees that she's well basically just sitting outside alone. As Izuku says this, "Hey Bako, why are you alone?" As Bako says this, "Well, this party blows." And Izuku says this. Wait, what? I thought you would probably like the party. I mean, it is fancy and also, it has like a lot of like influential people basically there. As she says this, "Ugh, I'm not really the type of gal that likes, furry pink dresses or something." As she says this, "Hey Izuku, do you want to, do some much more fun stuff?" Izuku says this. "What do you mean by that?" As she says this, "Come on." She starts, bringing Izuku to, to the beach of, Island. As Izuku says this, "Whoa, looks beautiful." As she says this, "Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me anyway. I mean, it just looks Okay, I guess. Izuku says this. So, why did you know about this place in the first place? As she says this. It's nothing. I just found it on like a web forum or something. Haha. She starts like blushing because, well, because at the time when she was getting ready for, well, for the Island trip, she starts researching, well, places so they can, well, be together. Specifically, well, Bakugo and Izuku being alone together, basically. So, while Bakugo was, well, blushing, Izuku says this. So, Bakugo, that, that, well, the time, the time that I accidentally kiss you. And she says this. What about it, nerd? Izuku says this. I mean, it is an accident. It is an accident, but I'm really sorry about that. I was just a bit clumsy at the time. As she says this. As she starts turning red. As she says this. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's all in the past, I guess. So, Izuku says this. Thank you for understanding, well, thank you for understanding Bakugo. As she says this. Um, Izuku, you're a bit too close. Izuku says this. Bakugo. As Izuku closes his eyes, and back goes, as they start getting a little bit closer and closer, until they heard a big like a big explosion. As Izuku says this, one the, as Bako says this, god dang it, because she was, well, waiting for Izuku to kiss her. As Izuku says this, did you hear that explosion? As she says this, yeah, what, what in the heck was that? Well, Izuku, as Izuku sees Uriel and some other people, a man with a large blade and the other with a large scythe. As one of them with the large scythe says this. So, you must be the son of Azazel. They call me Azrael, the angel of death. So, we finally meet. As he bows down, as the other one says this. My name is. Wait for a second. My name is Michael, the leader of the seven Archangels. So you must be the leader of these. As. Not leader, I meant. So you must be the son of Azazel. I meant Azazel. God dang it. You must be the son of Azazel, right? As Izuku says this. Yes. So, why did you come here, Michael, Azrael, and Uriel? As Uriel says this, we're come here to kill you, you monster, you damn deceiver. As Izuku says this, really, you think that I am a deceiver? Now, it's time for you to pay, says Michael. As Izuku says this, pay for what? As he says this, pay for your sins, for being born the son of a human and a demon. It's disgusting. As Izuku says this, it's only disgusting because you've been brainwashed to be thought to basically turn yourselves into monsters. As they say this, we're not monsters. You're the monster. We're here to protect this world. And you only corrupted those that you touched. And it's time for you to face your consequences. The consequences of your actions. You damn Nephilim. As Azrael says this. Yes. Now, as several angels appear, as he says this, these are the people that died in wars, genocides, even murdered, and they will be my army. and this army shall kill you, you Nephilim. As Michael says this, that's right, you will die, pathetic Nephilim. Wait for a second. So, Michael says this, charge! As he starts creating a Pegasus type creature, he rides on his back and starts charging towards Izuku. Izuku dodges it as Izuku says this. Damn, he's fast. As Azriel says this. You've forgotten. There's three. As he basically wields his scythe and gets ready to slice Izuku right in half. As Izuku dodges it, as All Might punches him right in the face. As for, well, David's shield, he starts going underground. As in underground, I literally mean he basically goes underground, going on an elevator, including Melissa. So, the rest of his classmates say this. Don't worry, Izuku. You can try and handle this Michael guy. We'll handle these two. As Bakugo said this. Yeah, let's take down this B-listers. As they start, well, Azriel and Uriel. Izuku was, well, basically in a standoff between himself and Michael. As Michael says this, it's my first time fighting a Nephilim. I mean, after all, Yahweh killed, well, the ancestors, or should I say your brothers, or half-brothers, back in the day. As Izuku says this, I heard of that story already. You killed, or should I say your master killed, my, well, my half-brothers in the great flood. As he says this, yes, that great flood, the flood that killed all of those pathetic Nephilim, those disgusting things, and you will die as well, with them, with your half-brothers. Izuku says this, there's no way I'm not gonna die. Now, allow me to show you what I have learned when I came here. As Izuku says this, arise, my battalion! As Izuku starts creating, well, an army, his own army, made from, well, basically magic. Just imagine the, well, skeletons that you would see in Grand Order, which I recently started playing, and now I want to get an SSR already. Anyway, just imagine them as like the skeletons or like the zombies in like Fate Grand Order, basically. So, these skeletons and those like soldiers start charging towards Michael. As Michael gets stabbed by one of the, well, arrows that one of the skeletons, well, created. As he says this, I really think that a weapon like that would ever kill. As he starts, well, his arm basically starts rotting away and turns into nothing more than, well, dust. As he says this, what is this? Wait a minute. That's... As Izuku says this, yes, I heard that this, well, horseman by the name of Pestilence created a brand new, well, formula. Apparently, it's able to kill even an angel, even a higher ranking, even killing a high ranking angel like you. So, after Astaroth defeated him in a battle, he gained his knowledge and passed it down to me. So, I decided to pick the, well, knowledge of, well, the knowledge and the secrets of, well, the Horseman of Pestilence. And because of that, well, I'm able to use his powers. Or at least, half of his powers at least. As he started, well, wielding up his hand, or like, just holds up his hand, as Izuku says this, rise, my pestilence. The graves, the death, the decay of others. Let this angel pay for his sins. of hurting the innocent. As he says this, no, no way. As Izuku says this, now, pestilent scales. As these gigantic, well, arrows of pestilence, of decay and disease, they basically get, well, shotted at, well, at Mach speed and shoot through the heart of Michael as Michael starts feeling the poison, the pestilence, the decay, the basically the parasites inside of him. As in parasites, I literally mean, well, maggots made from, well, the body, or at least like magic from, well, pestilence himself, basically the horseman, basically just basically that. As he says this, no, as he starts spitting out, well, instead of normal blood, well, it's color black. As he says this, no way, I'm going to die here. No, no, no. As Izuku says this, it's time for you to pay. Not really pay. More like be relieved of your duties. You were misguided by Yahweh. As he says this, I'm not misguided. As he starts spitting out more of the, well, black liquid, he says this, I won't die. As his heart basically starts pumping more and more of the energy, or ichor, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, blood of angels. As he starts saying, please, don't let me die. As the last beat of his heart means, well, he's about to die. When he was about to die, he starts, well, convulsing as his body stops. Several, like, insects, maggots, like rats, and other types of, well, disease infested, well, creatures started coming out of his, well, stomach and turning him into nothing more than a skeleton. As, well, Uriel says this, Michael, no! As she says this, we'll be back, and we shall kill you, you traitors, traitors of God. As they start going into a portal, as they disappear. As Izuku, when he used that, well, ability, well, something happens to him. Izuku starts, well, starts feeling a massive headache. Izuku says this, what in the, what is happening to me? As Izuku starts spitting out, well, r- spitting out blood, basically. As Bakugo, while celebrating the defeat of, well, those two other archangels, she looks towards Izuku, as she says this, Izuku! As, well, she says this, Izuku, what happened? Izuku says this, Izuku was knocked out. As everybody starts bringing basically Izuku to the Islands, basically, I meant Islands hospital, basically. As when they brought him there, Izuku was basically in a coma. As one of them being, wait, one of them being Bakugo starts crying on top of the chest of Izuku. As she says this, please, please don't die, please. As, well, when Kaminari comes to, well, try and comfort, well, Bakugo, she says this, get away! I don't want Izuku, please, please. As everybody decides to, well, basically just leave Bakugo alone with Izuku for now. Because it seems that Bakugo confessed her feelings towards Izuku. So, when they were outside basically waiting for, well, Bakugo to stop while crying, well, they're approached by something. A portal appears, Instead of the usual white and golden portal of the angels, it's black, like the opposite colors, like black and silver colored. As they see two people, as one of them being Kirishima says this, are you one of the angels? As well, Kirishima starts getting ready to fight them as well, one of them said this, no, I'm here for Izuku. I'm his father. I am Azazel. As well, one of them being almost said this, wait, you're Azazel, so you're the father of Izuku, and you must be, yes, says the girl right beside Azazel. My name is Inko Midoriya. Wait for a second. As she says this, so what happened to Izuku? As, well, All Might says this. When he basically just used this, whatever it is, he said like something about the horseman of like pestilence or something. As he says this, being well Azazel, he says this. Wait, he used that ability? As he says this, being All Might, is that dangerous? As he says this, yeah, the drawback of the ability, if you use it, well, you basically started becoming weak. And the more he uses that ability, well, he might die. But not really die, more like go back to, well, hell. As all of them say this, oh my god, so he's just going to die? As he says this, no, because I have the antidote. As they say this, oh, okay, come on, you can just watch for now. As for when he opens the door to the, well, room that Izuku is staying in, well, Bako is still crying. As she says this, I told you to get out. As she sees Azazel and Inko. As she says this, who are you? As they say this, we're Izuku's parents. As she says this, wait, you're Izuku's parents? Bako starts crying as she says this, please, please, l- please bring back Izuku, please don't let him die, please. As both of them say this, don't worry. So, they bring a special, well, scroll as Azazel and Inko slit their, well, their wrists as they start spreading blood all over Izuku's chest. As, well, for, well, Azazel, he starts chanting. Also Inko. After, after the chanting, something happens. A gigantic pentagram starts coming through the walls, basically like the walls started getting started getting engulfed in like, well, in like pentagrams as the pentagram started creating this weird looking energy, and this and the energy was color red. As it starts going inside of Izuku, Izuku starts convulsing as Izuku starts turning a little bit angrily. Not like angrily, I mean, Izuku starts like his eyes start rolling to the back of his head as Izuku starts screaming. As Bako said this, what is happening to Izuku? As, well, Azazel says this, don't worry, he's okay. It's just the natural process of this ritual. After a few moments, Izuku, well, turns back to normal and goes to sleep. As Azazel says this, don't worry, you just need to wait for a few weeks. Izuku is just fine, just let him rest. So, wait for a second. So, after that, both Azazel and Inko started going back to hell. As Aizawa says this, so you must be, well, really tired from your trip, so maybe just rest here for now. As they say this, Sorry, but we're still, well, leaders of hell. Or at least, well, Azzy is still, well, the leader of hell. Or at least one of the leaders. As he says this, yeah, I still am a prince. Or at least a king. So, I must protect my people and act as the leader. So, that is why I had to go back to hell. As All Might says this, I respect that. So, see ya then. As he says this to, well, All Might. I'm talking about, well, Azazel. As Azazel says this, Mr. All Might, don't let my son, well, hurt himself even more. I just want you to, well, take care of him for now. He's still recovering after all. As All Might says this, alright, Mr. Azazel. As he says this, good. So, both Inko and Azizo go back into the portal as they disappear. So, yeah. So, this will be the end of the episode. So, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.